Yeah, Dopest Community, we are back with this highly anticipated album that everybody's loving. I'm seeing the comments. I'm glad you guys are feeling the album like how I am and how the majority of the world is. I feel like Mac Miller fans really need this. But let's get right into the next track, man. We got Stone, one of my favorite tracks on the album. Let's get Stone. Join this fire, man. But let's get right into it. Thanks for all love and support. Shouts to the day ones in the Dopest Community, the Mac Miller fans that brought this whole channel together. Let's get it, y'all.
Breaks down the pain.
Love this song, man. Going crazy on them strings. Shout outs to Matt.
She breaks down the pain. She rolls up the weed. She far from a saint. She's all that I need. She lost in her thoughts, so hardly she speaks. Her mind's always dirty and her soul's never free. She never been a groupie. She just in love with the music. She watched depressing movies. Something from the 30s or the 40s about a dependent housewife. She makes up her bed like she makes up her stories. Awake through the night, then she high from the morning. I wish she could feel me. She never felt nothing. Knock on her door. She let me come in. I wish she would learn to live. Isolation. She locking the bathroom door. Baby, let's get stoned. Put on a record. Can I play you one more song? We can get stoned. I swear to God, heaven feels just like home. Let's go home. Yeah. In the water, it's shallow like the lies that she tells. Can run from your shadow, can't hide from yourself. She hates that she cries when she's all by herself, and she's always all by herself. She hardly talks in conversation, but when she do, all her words get lost in translation. No, she can't move, cause she paralyzed in fear that she fantasized. The doctor tried to analyze, they cannot find anything that's wrong with her. Her parents never got along with her. I had to make the song for her. I wish she would learn to live. Isolation, she locking the bathroom door. Baby, let's get stoned. Put on a record. Can I play you one more song? We can get stoned. I swear to God, heaven feels just like home. Let's go home. Baby, let's get stoned. Put on a record. Can I play you one more song? We can get stoned. I swear to God, heaven feels just like home. Let's go home. I wish she would learn to live. Isolation, she locking the bathroom door.
This song is so damn hard, man.
Baby, let's get stoned. Put on a record. Can I play you one more
What
song?
song?
We can get stoned. I swear to God, heaven feels just like home. Let's go home.
Man, salute to Larry Fisherman and Mac. With Larry Fisherman being Mac. Salute to Mac on this production, man. He's killing it on them strings, them drums, everything, man. Just an all around great, phenomenal artist in every aspect of the word, man. And the definition of artist, he hits all those, man. He surpasses them. Man, Mac, man, monster. Monster in production, monster for sounds. He just had that ear. So, in this song, you can hear Mac talking and dissecting about this girl, saying how she makes up stories and parents never get along with her, and that he asked her to get stoned with him and play music. He seems to be inviting her to calm down and states, "Heaven feels just like home," which, of course, referring to the drugs feeling like heaven. I feel like that could be a metaphor too, man. It's like when you it's just my brain just be thinking other ways too. Like that's another like that could be a metaphor for like let's get stoned, like let's get you because you go overdose too, depending on what type of drug you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, he's talking about weed. That's different. But if you're talking about like just getting high off another drug, like it's just like heaven feels just like home. Let's go home. It could be like let's take these pills or until we die and everything. But that's not what he's talking about. I don't think that's what he's talking about. But that's where my brain goes when I hear stuff like that. So man, it's just the sounds of this, man. It's dope. So let's go ahead and get into it. She breaks down the pain. She rolls up the weed. She far from a saint. She's all that I need. She lost in her thoughts, so hardly she speaks. Her mind's always dirty and her soul's never free. Whoa, whoa. God love the whoa, whoa's my back, man. She never been a groupie. She just in love with music. She watched depressing movies, something from the 30s or the 40s about a dependent wife, a dependent housewife. She makes up her bed like she makes up her stories. You know what I'm saying? She make this just everyday stuff. So it says, this could be referring to the 1934 film Housewife, directed by Alfred E. Green, where two women battle over a married man, one to retain the marriage and one to break out. Possibly. She makes up her bed like she makes up her stories. This could mean two things. She feels like she needs to make up stories because she's a relatively uninteresting person and is embarrassed of her mundane lifestyle when talking to someone like Mac, who probably has many stories to tell. That's the way to look at it too. She is a messy person, so she never makes her bed, but she lived an interesting life and has no need to make up stories. Probably number one because later in the song he says, "I wish you would have learned to live." That right there is crazy. So yeah, he's like she makes up her bed, how she makes up her stories, awake through the night, then she high from the morning. I wish she could feel me. She never felt nothing. Knock on the door. She let what do you say? Knock on her door. She let me come in. So she allowed Mac to come in there. Emotional numbness is a symptom of anxiety and depression. Mac wishes she could feel the way he feels, but she can't due to the numbness that she has felt probably her whole life. Baby, let's get stoned. Like you could just picture that too, man. Just smoking in the studio, Mac letting her hear his music and everything, and they're just, I promise heaven feels just like home. So let's go home. So that's what he's with the chorus, baby. Let's get stoned. Put on a record. Can I play you one more song? We could get stoned. I swear heaven feels just like home. That production, man, with the strings and all that, it's just like the overall sound, man. I love how at the end they just got the song playing outward, man. I fell in love with this song the second I heard it, man. He was like, in the water we're shallow, like the lies that she tells. Can't run from the shadows, can't hide from yourself. That right there is real too. So it's like, the water's shallow like the lies, she tells shallow lies and like similar to like the shallow water. Can't run from your shadow, can't hide from yourself. Your shadow stays with you and yourself is always gonna be there when you look in the mirror. So you can't hide from yourself. That's a lot of times when people take drugs and everything, take themselves away from reality. She hates that she cries when she's all by herself, and she's always by herself. So, she's always crying. So, of course, turn to the drugs and everything. She hardly talks in conversations, but when she do, all her words get lost in translation. Like people aren't understanding what she's saying. That could be her people just not understanding her because of her state of mind, or people not understanding her because she slurs from drugs. So let's see what you're talking about. The reason why her words seem to be lost in attempt to be understood could be related to emotional or psychological difficulty in expressing themselves. The person may feel incomprehensible, as if their communication is not truly reaching others or conveying what they feel. This could stem from a lack of confidence, fear of being judged, or simply the complexity of emotions that can't find the right words to be expressed. When you're too caught up in your own thoughts or emotions, it can be difficult to articulate what you want to say, and that's exactly what is suggested in the lines. The difficulty in communicating can cause the words to be misunderstood or seem to get lost in the flow of conversation. That makes sense. Like, you ever been so mad and people like, what's wrong with you? Like, man, I just and you just let out a cry or something, like you just scream. Everyone's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because you got so much things in so many thoughts and things in your brain, it's hard to just get them out. Hard to put into words. That's why it's always good to sit back, reflect. Somebody like, just like when it comes to jobs and everything, somebody told me that, like, yo, don't quit today, quit tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't make decisions while you're emotional. Same thing with conversations, man. When you're dealing with some stuff, try to get your thoughts together before you say what you say, because after you say it, you can't take it back. Even if because it could just be the way you're feeling at that moment. Um, Let me see. Now she can't move because she paralyzed from fear that she fantasized. The doctor tried to analyze. I love this right here. I call these the calligraphy pens. No, she can't move because she's paralyzed from fear that she fantasized. The doctor tried to analyze. They cannot find anything wrong with her. Her parents never got along. I had to make this song for her. So obviously he went. She's paralyzed. She can't. From her fear, like she's got trauma and everything. And the doctor tried to analyze, but we can't figure out what's wrong with her and everything. But he's saying like your parents didn't get along, so that right there could be coming. Her PTSD and everything could be coming from her parents not getting along. There's no telling what she saw growing up and all that stuff. And all that stuff takes a toll on children, man. With me having children, I'm aware of that as well. Things that go on around them, their brains are still developing, so the things they see can really like steer them in the right or the wrong direction. All right, so let's see. Then he's like, I wish she could learn to love. I mean, I wish she could learn to laugh. Isolation, she locking the bathroom door. Like, so she doesn't want to be around anybody. She's locking the bathroom door. She's sitting in there, whether she's taking drugs, crying, whatever it is, she needs time to herself. So he's like, baby, let's get stoned. Put on reggae. Can I play you one more song? We could get stoned. I swear to God, heaven feels just like home. So let's go home. I love the track, man. The track is so fire, man. All right, y'all. So that was Stone. Next, we have Shangri-La. So, all right, now this one right here, man, I had to actually look this up. I had to do my Googles, y'all. I don't know about y'all. Y'all probably already knew, but I had to do my Googles. Hold on. So, so look at this, y'all. This is very interesting when it comes to Shangri-La, if y'all didn't know. Shangri-La is a fictional land that appears in James Hilton's 1933 novel Lost Horizon. It is also the name of a city in China. So they're saying it's a fictional land. But what? So is it fictional? All the way fictional, or is it somewhat? Shangri-La can refer to a mythical utopian monastery in James Hilton's 1933 novel Lost Horizon, or a real city in China. And the novel Shangri-La is hidden, harmonious valley in Tibet's Kunlun Mountains, where plane crash survivors discover a peaceful, crime-free society. The residents live for centuries, age slowly, and safeguard the world's wisdom and cultural treasures. Hilton's Shangri-La is based on the legendary Tibetan paradise in Shambhala. Wow, that's crazy right there. Did y'all know that? Y'all let me know in the comments if y'all knew all that stuff, man. Let's get right into it, though. Another fire song. All the tracks are fire, man.
2 cents in. Might not be able to afford anything, but I'm always up for a bargain. The dragons are flying south for the winter. They don't like cold weather either. Okay, I was driving up to Shangri-La to get my meditation on. I was thinking Lamb of God, she was thinking Saint Laurent. She sell the pussy on Millionaires Avenue. Paper's not the problem, spending money always casual. Why do you whine like your last name was Rothschild? Life been a bitch ever since they let me out the doghouse. No mercy for the docile. Flow is hostile, but don't sleep. The codeine came back to get me high again. Just how super is a supermodel? Just how super is a supermodel?
It's the house of the rising sun, the village of unusual. If I'm dying young, promise you'll smile at my funeral. Yeah, it's just a rule to follow. Living today 'cause you can lose tomorrow.
Yeah. I am getting ready to sign my life away. The weather's nice today, what a perfect day to die. She killed herself, but she'd rather get married. There's coconut vodka, but she'd rather have cherry. I wish my drug dealer took the Air Max. I can't find my debit card. I told her meet me by the annex, and we can get high by the reservoir. Oh my goodness, girl, you a milkshake, extra large. No, you shouldn't. You said it never get this far. Do you have an extra ticket to the seminar? Show me where all the old records are. She got a brand new dinette set, but she still don't know how to set the table. I told her that this feeling about as good as it gets. Shit, that bitch so unstable. And just how super is a supermodel. Just how super is a supermodel.
It's a house in the rising sun, a village of unusual. If I'm dying young, promise you'll smile at my funeral. Yeah, it's just a rule to follow. Live today cause you can lose tomorrow.
Track just gives you chills, man. Like for real, really gives you chills. Yeah, so when it comes to this song, it says likely recorded summer of 2014. Little is known about Shangri-La except that it was one of the few Balloonerism's tracks recorded after March 2014 sessions where most of the album was finalized. In a leaked track list photographed September 2014 but dated as early as April 2014, a song called Shangri-La, Yes Yes, appears on track 15 out of 15. Fans speculate that the track was recorded at Rick Rubin's Shangri-La studio in Malibu, California. That's crazy. I didn't know that. He recorded in Rick Rubin's studio. Mac was known to frequent this studio around the time of recording. Shangri-La is featured on 2025 short film Balloonerism. Yeah, so the short film they have on the film based on Mac Miller. Y'all see it right there. But yeah, so that's crazy, man. This song right here just gives you chills right here. Like, especially when you're talking about I wish his drug dealer took Amex and all that stuff, like American Express. It's just like it's wild, man. It's crazy. It's really chilling. So he's like, don't be afraid to put your 2 cents in. Might not be able to afford anything, but I'm always up for a bargain. So that's Mac always talking about, with thoughts and everything. Taking the risk of focus your efforts on something. You might not be able to enjoy everything around you, but it'll work out in the end. That's what the translation. I like the dragons are flying south for the winter. They don't like the cold weather either. I like that right there. It's an introspective way to look at things. Okay, I was drying up the Shangri-La to get my meditation on. And like I was saying, that's like a place of peace and everything. It's like a fictional place. And that's why he's saying he's on his way up there to get his meditation on. He's like, I was thinking Lamb of God, but she was thinking Saint Laurent. He's like, I'm trying to get my spiritual on. She's over here thinking about material stuff. She sell pussy on a Millionaire's Avenue. Paper's not the problem. Spending money's always casual. Why do you whine like your last name Rothschild? So in this one right here, he's saying the Rothschilds are a wealthy Jewish banking family that originated in Frankfurt, Germany, in the 16th century. In the next track, Funny Papers, Mac Miller says, and this Funny Papers is such a chilling track, man. We're about to get to that after this one, man. Yeah, like I'm not even gonna ruin that part right there. Some angry bankers say some kind of money trader. We're gonna get to that one. I don't even want to put that one out there. Yeah, I'm gonna wait till we get to that song, till we get to Funny Papers, and we'll talk about that after that. Life's been a bitch ever since they let me out the doghouse. That right there is dope too. Doghouse, life's a bitch. A bitch is a female dog. Life's been a bitch since they let me out the doghouse. I'm a dog, bitch. Like the drawing's tough. No mercy for the docile. Flow is hostile, but don't sleep. The codeine came back to get me high again. So no mercy for the docile. Like, you know what I'm saying? The people that pretty much can't think for themselves. Like, people that are vulnerable and all that stuff. A lot of times there's chemicals put in things that, they say that with fluoride, like too much fluoride makes people docile and all that stuff. So, and it was used in history and all that stuff. If you guys familiar with history, it's been used in like different situations. Not really, we'll get into that. Flow is hostile, but don't sleep. The codeine came back to get me high again. So the flow is hostile. I got a hostile flow, so don't sleep on it, but the codeine came to get me high again. He's like, just how super is a supermodel, just how super is a supermodel. It's the house of the rising sun in the village of unusual. If I'm dying young, promise you'll smile at my funeral. That right there is crazy. I was watching a Drink Champs interview with Schoolboy Q. I don't know if y'all see that when it came out. What was it like a few years? Yeah, I feel like it came like a few years ago because I didn't watch it when it first came out. But yeah, pretty much Schoolboy Q was talking about his relationship with Mac Miller. If you guys are familiar with them, Schoolboy Q and Mac Miller were like this. They were like really cool and everything. They got films together, just like with him and Vince Staples. They got a lot of camera time with each other and everything, and their chemistry is just undeniable between Vince Staples and Schoolboy Q. Just stating some of the relationships he had. But when he was on Drink Champs, Nori asked him, like, Schoolboy Q told a story, and then Nori asked him, he's like, moment of silence for Mac Miller? He's like, hell nah. And he's like, make some noise. He's like, damn right. And then everybody started clapping and everything, because that right there is basically what Mac is saying now. Like, don't be depressed at my funeral, smile at my funeral, be happy. So he's like, if I'm dying young, promise that you'll smile at my funeral. Yeah, it's just a rule to follow. Live today because you can lose tomorrow. Chills, man. Yeah, I'm getting ready to sign my life away. The weather's nice today. What a perfect day to die. So that right there is crazy. You always talking about signing his life away. The weather's nice. Like, he's aware of what he's doing. So he's saying after spending first half of his career signed to Rostrum Records, Mac and Rostrum parted ways in 2014, shortly before the recording of Balloonerism. This reason for his departure from the Rostrum was believed that Mac could attract attention from a major label after recording Balloonerism and independently released his mixtape Faces, which is debatably one of Mac's greatest pieces of work. Mac signed a $10 million deal with Warner Brothers in October 2014. And then when he says the weather's nice today, a perfect day to die, the line is just various other other lines in Miller's previous songs and the life in general about how he almost knew he would die and was at peace with dying as he experienced so much turmoil, which sometimes can only dang, that's really crazy, man. It's sad even reading it. Sometimes can only be let go of by passing on peacefully in your sleep. That's wild right there, man. So he's like, so she'd kill herself, she'd kill herself, but she'd rather get married. That right there is crazy. She'd kill herself, but she'd rather get married. Like, those two, you choose one. That shit is wild. There's coconut vodka, but she'll rather have cherry. I wish my drug dealer took Amex, can't find my debit card. I told her meet me by the annex. We can get high by the reservoir. So meet me at, the high point of the annex and everything. So he's like, is a double entendre. The annex is the name of a hotel. Oh, and so is Shangri-La. Annex is also the name of the reservoir in Colorado. That's dope right there. I did not know that. See what happens when you read? Oh my goodness, girl, you a milkshake, extra large. No, you shouldn't. You said it'll never get this far. Do you have an extra ticket to the seminar? Show me where all the old records are. She got a brand new dinette set, but she don't know how to set the table. So it's like, you got this dinette set, you got all this cool stuff, but you don't even know how to set. You got it, pretty much like lessons of life. You got all this stuff, but if you don't know how to utilize it, they're pointless. So I got this brand new dinette set. She got this brand new dinette set, but she don't know how to set the table. I told her that this feeling about as good as it gets. Shit, the bitch is so unstable, and then it goes back to, and just how Subaru is a supermodel. It's the house rising. It's the house of the rising sun, a village of unusual. If I'm dying young, I promise you smile at my. If I'm dying young, promise me you'll smile at my funeral. Yeah, it's just a rule to follow. Live today, cause you could lose tomorrow. Salute to Mac, man. Another fire track. But you already know what type of time we're on. We gotta get to the next track. Funny Papers, man. Funny Papers, one of my favorite tracks on this album, man. Gave me chills and everything. It really makes you think about a lot of different things. And then just the whole thing, man, about, I didn't think anybody died on Friday, and then he died on a Friday. This shit is crazy, man. But let's get it, y'all.
Did no one ever teach you how to dance? Nobody ever taught you how to dance? Well, everyone knows how to dance. There's only so much time. Yeah, somebody died today. I saw his picture in the funny papers. Didn't think anybody died on a Friday. Some angry banker or some kind of money trader recently divorced or drunk driving down the highway and drove off the bridge to his wedding song. Blew out the bass in the speakers, you could still hear the trouble going. The hospital was useless and everything was quiet but the music. Recently I only meet peace when in deep sleep in the same dream. World safe, smile on her face, waiting on the other side. I wonder if he'll take me to the other side. Yeah. What your eyes see, too naive for war and that'll screw you. Still bet it all on the glory, hallelujah. I heard the answer in the gibberish of an old drunk. All he said was he's in no rush. If I could just pay my rent by Tuesday, I bet I'd be rich by April Fool's Day. The moon's wide awake with a smile on his face as he smuggled constellations in a suitcase. Don't you love silence? Everything quiet but the music. Everything quiet but the music. Do you love silence? Everything quiet but the music. Somebody gave birth to a baby boy. I saw his picture in the funny papers. 11 pounds named after his Uncle Gabriel. His mother cried with her lips against his soft face. Why she bring these bright eyes into this dark place? Oh, sweet, sweet oblivion. Way before the information gets settled in. I swear to God I never wanna sin again, but I fear that. Yeah. The mind go with age, don't surrender. My mistake, I misplaced all of my remembers. Baby, there's a little vacation in the dresser. Hey, one for depression and two for your temper. Just pay my rent by Tuesday. I bet I'll be rich by April Fool's Day. The moon's wide awake with a smile on his face as he's smuggling constellations in a suitcase. Don't you love silence? Oh shit, here come the icebreaker. It's danger when he's bringing out the lightsaber. The word's awesome, but he's talking out of turn off, and I blew the fuck up, then became the world's problem. Bad hygiene, all about that gross life. Hate to see somebody fucking up their own life. Just roll the dice and put 20 on midnight. Have a feeling we gon' win tonight. Cause when the snake starts slithering, you spot the chameleons. You realize you surrounded by reptilians. Shit, I ain't an innovator, it's a motherfucking illustrator. Why does it matter at all? Whoa.
Production is fire. That's when we got Mac, Taylor Grays, and Thundercat. Gotta love it, man. He just rock out with it, man. One of one, man. Mac, man. Salute to Mac. Every track, dog. Every single track. Like, if y'all can see, like, when I first started listening to the album, I was just like, yo, what in the world? And I feel like now, it's the album is sinking in more now that I'm doing this reaction with you guys. I actually see myself and all the other stuff from the recording, and I'm gathering information with these videos as I go along. So I'm learning things just like y'all. For the people that already do know, you know what I'm saying? Just it's insightful for me. So obviously, Funny Papers is what Mac is referring to as like the newspaper and everything. And I think it's dope how he just goes from like he starts talking about in the beginning, he starts talking about somebody dying in the like, and he read in the Funny Papers, and then after that he talks about, you know, a baby being brought into the world in the Funny Papers. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not all about dark, it's not all about light, but it's like life is both. He's like, on Funny Papers, Mac takes the negative and positive, what I just said, takes the negative and positive of one might read in the newspaper while reflecting similarly on his own emotions. The term Funny Papers gives a sense of simplicity to the reciprocated in the song. What simplicity that is reciprocated in the song. This sentiment comes full circle as Mac asks, what does it matter? Why does it matter at all? Towards the end, Mac nods to the intrinsic truth that everything we deal with in life is temporary, while not everything will be so simple. Yeah, so it starts off, he's like, and he has this little speech right here. He's like, did no one ever teach you how to dance? Nobody ever taught you how to dance? Well, everyone knows how to dance. Mac uses dance as an allegory for life, portraying how no one truly teaches you how to live. There's no manual. It's nothing to learn by. Nothing you learn by doing. Mac uses the metaphor, yeah. Oh wow, Mac used the metaphor, yeah. A bonus track from the album Faces as well. Man, I think you went too far. You can't stop the dice. Don't let them stop the dance. Oh, that's crazy. He compared mastering the art of dance to navigating life's challenges, emphasizing grace, rhythm, and adaptability. The next line, there's only so much time, adds a sense of urgency, reflecting the fleeting nature of both life and the chance to find your rhythm before it's too late. Wow, I would never thought that. That's wild. Some angry. Oh my bad. All right, let's get into it, y'all. He's like, yeah, somebody died today. I saw his picture in the Funny Papers. I didn't think anybody died on a Friday. That right there, like I said, that's chilling because he died on a Friday. My bad. Some angry banker, some kind of money trader, recently divorced, was drunk driving down the highway and drove off the bridge to his wedding song. So he's talking about in the funny papers. Obviously, he read about an angry banker, that was recently divorced. He rode off, he killed himself and everything. He drove off a bridge to his wedding song. He's like, blew out the bass in his speakers. You can hear the treble going. The hospital was useless and everybody was quiet but the music. So he's talking about, the treble going, everybody's quiet but the music. So let's look at that right now. At the end of his life, the banker blasts his wedding music blowing out of the bass of his speakers. However, figuratively, the bass counterpart, the treble, continues to play, referencing the gravity of the situation after the initial event passes. This music continues to play in the hospital. The limits of the hospital set in the finality of the man's death. When there is nothing left to be done, in an attempt to save his life, the hospital goes silent. And obviously the music's still playing. Trouble is the homophone for trouble word, which is used in the second verse, but I fear trouble's on the way. Okay. This line can be interpreted as the music returning to bring in with its association with death, and other negative ideas. That's wild. Okay. Man, see, man, Mac, man, his music, man, it just be going over my head. So he's like, yeah, he's like, the hospital was useless and everything was quiet but the music. Recently, and this one right here, man, because I went through this. What he's talking about right now, I went through this, y'all. Like, this right here is just this first line. Recently, I only find peace in a deep sleep. Been the same dream. World safe, smile on her face, waiting on the other side. I wonder if he'll take me to the other side. So it's like, because I had moments like this, man, where I was just so stressed out. It's like when I was awake, I was stressed like 24 hours in the day, man. Let's say like I'm awake. Let's just say take sleep out of it. So if you were to take 24 hours, just say I was awake for 24 hours, I would say probably about 23 hours of those days, I would just be stressed out, like for real. The other hour is just I just make that's just idle time, like when you're driving, your brain just goes free, stuff like that. So it got to the point with me personally, I only found peace when I was asleep. When I woke up, I was like, man, I just want to go back to sleep. Like, you know what I'm saying? That was the time I was most peaceful. I know some people they can't sleep when they got a lot of stuff in their mind. I was just so mentally drained that when I would go to sleep, that was my peace. So when I heard Max say this, man, this joint gave me chills. So he's like, recently I only find peace when in a deep sleep. So let's see how they decipher this. He was like, Max seems to have felt that he couldn't have any peace while awake, doing typical things no matter what the circumstances. When sleep, he finds the world that is more peaceful with a woman he must miss intensely. So that right there, he's like, in his, there's a woman in his dream and everything that he sees, and he's finding peace. And then it's one of those things like it's like then he dreams about like his guy like am I going to die in my sleep? You know what I'm saying? Is this the way to go? Is that what's going to happen? He's like the other side most likely refers to the afterlife of some sort. He wonders if he'll find peace on the other side, which he feels as if he visits in his sleep. So, kind of like a preview to like death in a sense. What your eyes see, too naive for war, and that'll screw you. Still bet it all on the glory, hallelujah. You know what I'm saying? Like what your eyes sees too naive to war, and that'll screw you. Still bet it all on the glory. Still better on glory, hallelujah. I'm having faith. I'm still betting on faith. I swear to answering the gibberish of an old drunk. All he said was he's in no rush. So he's talking about an old drunk saying he's like in no rush to like die or whatever. The answer that Mac talks about in this question of what will happen after death, the answer he finds is that there is no rush to find out. In this album, Mac talks about what will happen after death as seen when he wonders if God will take him to another side, heaven. He also refers to heaven being home in the world in the song Stone. So we know that. And he's like, if I could just pay my rent by Tuesday, I bet I'll be rich by April Fool's Day. The moon's wide awake with a smile on his face as he smuggled constellations in his suitcase. I love that right there, man. So he's referring to the moon. The moon's wide awake. It's bright in the sky. Mac is observing the moon as it appears in the morning sky, the sign of good luck. The moon's suitcase is a metaphor for the Earth's atmosphere, or rather blue sky, that prevents one from observing the constellations behind it. It's deep right there, man. He smuggles the constellations in his suitcase. So, when the moon is out and everything, it's just that's wild. Because sometimes you can see the stars, sometimes you can't. Um, don't you love silence? And he's like, everything's quiet but the music. Everything's quiet but music. Don't you love silence? And Mac is referred to that a lot of times, just being able to just embrace silence. And then, like a lot of people feel the I don't know, people just don't like silence. They feel like they need to make small talk because silence makes them feel away, makes them feel uncomfortable. but then he wasn't against that. He could sit in silence, and then he also loved music as well. Um, so now he's talking about the funny papers again. He's like, somebody gave birth to a baby boy. I saw his picture in the funny papers, 11 pounds, named after his uncle Gabriel. So he's over there talking about, the good things. His mother cried with her lips against his soft face. So that's like the good things going on. So he's saying Mac is referring to the newspaper as he did in the first verse. Somebody died today. I saw his picture in the funny papers. But this time something positive, which means that in a day, many things can happen, both negative and positive. Love you forever, Mac. That's what somebody put in there, man. Rest in peace, Mac. 11 pounds, 11 pounds, named after his uncle Gabriel. Since the same verse is the only place where the word God can be found, the baby name could be, is Gabriel the angel? Is that where it came from? Because I'm like, why did he choose the name Gabriel? Named after his uncle Gabriel. And we all know Gabriel was an angel. So he's like, the word God can be found. The baby name could be a reference to the angel Gabriel, God's messenger in some religions, the one that presumably announced the coming birth of Jesus. So I wonder if that's why he chose Gabriel. Because even when I first heard the song, I heard like, 11 pounds, named after his uncle Gabriel. I was like, he chose Gabe for a reason. You know what I'm saying? He chose Gabriel for a reason. And that right there could be referring to like the messenger of God, Gabriel. His mother cried with her lips against his soft face. Why'd she bring these bright eyes into this dark place? So now he's talking about the world. Why would you bring like a baby into this messed up world? Oh, sweet, sweet oblivion. Way before the information gets settled in. I swear to God, I never want to sin again, but I fear that trouble's on its way. The mind go with age, don't surrender. That right there, man. The mind go with age. That right there is true. Like as you get older, like your memory starts to fade. That's why it's so important to take vitamins and take care of yourself, because you got the dementia and everything. It's wild. Let me look at this. Oblivion can be defined as a state of being unaware and unconscious of what is going on around you. Here, Mac reflects that when he was in a state of oblivion as a young child, instead of experiencing the things he's currently going through, having his mind in an unconscious state is more appealing to him than the current disposition and outlook on life. It's crazy, man. Life will really make you think. Um, Yeah, he's like, yeah, so he's like, the mind go with age, don't surrender. My mistake, I misplaced all of my remembers. That right there is crazy. The mind go with age, don't surrender. My mistake, I surrendered. I misplaced all of my remembers. Like, I misplaced everything I remember. I misplaced it. I can't find it. I can't remember nothing. Baby, there's a little vacation in the dresser. So obviously he's talking about pills and drugs. There's a little for you to get high, take a trip, vacation. Baby, there's a little vacation in the dresser. Take one for depression and two for your temper. So that's what he's saying. Like there's drugs in there to take you on a trip. And then he's like, if I could pay my rent by Tuesday, I bet I'd be rich by April Fool's Day. The moon's wide awake with a smile on his face as he smuggles constellations in his suitcase. Don't you love silence? So then he comes to verse 3. Oh shit, here come the icebreaker. It's danger when he's bringing out the lightsaber. The word's awesome, but he's taking out a turn often. I blew the fuck up, then became the world's problem. Bad hygiene's all about that gross life. So let's see what he's talking about right here. So he's like, icebreaker means, how you start a conversation, everything to break the ice. He's hitting that he's about to speak on something controversial, obviously. He mentions that he's talking out of turn, which means he's about to say something without the permission of someone else. Most of the time when you talk out of turn, you're saying something that is supposed to be a secret. This is a build up to the lines in the third verse, obviously. So yeah, so he's like, I blew the fuck up and became the world's problem. After Mac became popular with the release of his mixtape Kids, he was criticized heavily, and many critics label him as a frat boy rapper, saying that he only talked about drugs and had no originality. Wow, that's crazy. Like Mac, when Mac dropped, man, I think I started listening to Mac in 2008, I think. 2008, 2009 time frame, you know what I'm saying? Around the time of Kids. But like during that time, he's exactly what hip hop needed. One of the many people that contributed during that time, he was needed during that time. And then his music kept progressing with his age. So he was adapting to stuff while still doing his own thing. You gotta love it, man. So fuck all them critics and all that shit they talking about, man. And bad hygiene, all about that gross life. And Faces on watching music with the sound off, Mac refers to himself as a dirty or gross multiple times. He does. Once in Avion and once in Grand Finale. Don't bathe, gross gang. Smell like old lo mein. Grand Finale. I'm nasty. I never shower. Go to sleep on a bed of flowers. All right, word. All right, gotta make me go back and go listen to that. Yo, Red Dot Music was my shit, man. And what was so dope about watching music with the sound off, man, people like Mac, he was so in tune with the culture because the joint with Loaded Lux, man. Like, who the fuck is Mac Miller? That whole thing right there, man. Like, yo, Lux was cooking up there, and you gotta love Mac. Like, yo, I could picture Mac telling Loaded Lux, yo, I need you on this album. I need you to battle me. I need you to write bars about me, disrespecting me. It was dope, man. I loved it, man. Like, that joint was so fire, man. I'm probably gonna go listen to that after, we're done with these reactions and everything. Watching music with the sound off. I mean, watch TV with the sound off. All right, let's see. Where we at, y'all? My bad, man. I'm all over the place. Um, why did I say watching TV with the sound off? All right, just roll the dice. Put a 20 on midnight. Having a feeling we gonna win tonight. So pretty much, obviously, he's like Gambler was like seemingly written in close proximity. Max post faces error. Put a 20 on midnight, referring to betting 20 on black and roulette. So that's what he's talking about, like roulette and everything. You got red, and you got black. He's referring to black as midnight. Having a feeling we going to win tonight, because when the snakes start slithering, you spot the chameleons. You realize you're surrounded by reptilians. Shit, I ain't an innovator, just a motherfucking illustrator. So it's like I'm not in it. I'm just showing y'all I'm just drawing the pictures of what's out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to innovate nothing. I'm just showing y'all what I see and I'm illustrating it. So he's like, when he's talking about, because when the snakes start slithering, you spot the chameleons, you realize you're surrounded by reptilians. When those around you show their sinister intentions and behaviors, you are able to seek those who have your best interests at heart. But you realize you're surrounded by reptilians suggests that further analyze those around you, such ways will alienate you from everyone else, making it seem like no one is on your side. And also, when you talk about reptilians, when you talk about the lizard people, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you're talking about the lizard people as well. You know what I'm saying? They could change like how they look and everything. So I don't know if that's also what Mac is talking about too, because when he's talking about people switching up on them and alienating you from everybody and acting like you got the problem, like it's just like, if they could change their face and the way they look and all that stuff, I feel like that kind of goes into it too. Um and then the whole part when he says, shit, I ain't an innovator, I'm just a motherfucking illustrator. Mac is an artist and is able to point out the problems that he sees in the world and within himself and articulate them through his creativity. But that skill doesn't always pair with the skill of solving said problems. So salute to Mac, man. Oh shit, hold on. Then somebody said he's referring to the reptilians, whether you view it as alien or demon, that controls Hollywood and child abductions, but the fact that you don't know that truth until you are exposed to it. It was very literal. Versus snakes, demons, serpents, chameleons, shapeshifters, reptilians. Didn't I just say that? That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, if you know, you know, man. I gotta do some research. I think that's what he was talking about too. When I first heard, that's what I thought too. When he said, you're surrounded by reptilians and all that stuff. Like that right there is wild, man. Because they even say with the lizard people, they were saying like they walk around looking like lizard people, but what they do to our minds, we only see, we see a regular person, but they're actually the reptiles right in front of you. Like the lizard person is in front of you, but your brain, because they got this little thing up, you can, you see them as a regular person. That's why they were saying like what they were saying. Mark Zuckerberg is what, man. That's what they was talking about, man. Hey, that's just what they said. You feel me? So, but yeah, y'all. So that right there, those are the three for today, y'all. Those are the three for today. Check back. You already know, man. We're gonna have Excelsior Transformation and Mannequins coming up next, man. Appreciate everybody showing up to the channel. Thanks for being day one supporters. Y'all that's been here since Mac Miller in the very beginning, since the very beginning. I appreciate y'all. Salute to the homie Max. Good to see you again, homie. Had to give you a shout out and all that stuff. I saw you in the comments and all that. Much love, y'all. See y'all soon on the next one. Y'all be easy. Peace.